final round and closing ceremony of Rector's Cup Debating Championship 2023. We beseech Thee and grateful towards You in favor of all the infinite blessing to us, Your humble servants, to live in safe and prosperous life. We seek Your blessing for a flawless progress of this event. From the beginning till the end, we seek Your guidance to steer clear of events that will detrimental the progress of this event. Ya Zal Jalali wal Ikram, please bless us with Your tawfiq wal hidayah. Please guide IUM to greatness, peace, glory, and prosperity in this world and the hereafter. Make us a responsible intellectual. Grant us with a valuable knowledge that will be beneficial to all mankind in order to gain Your mardahatillah. Make us Your righteous servant that follow Your commands and neglect the sinful act. Please forgive us for our wrongdoing. Allahumma ij'al jam'ana haza jam'an marhuma wa tafarruqana min ba'di tafarruqan ma'suma wa la taj'al lillahuma fina wa la ma'ana wa la man yatba'una shaqiyan wa la maqdudan wa la mahruma. Allahumma ij'al khairan a'marina akhiruhu wa khair a'malina khawatimuhu wa khaira ayyamina yawmal alqaka fih. Allahumma ighfir lana zunubana wa la ikhwanina alladhina sabaquna bil iman wa la taj'al fi qulubina ghillan lil ladhina amanu rabbana innaka ra'ufur rahim. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzaban nar wa qina adzaban nar وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Amin, Amin, Ya Rabbal Alamin. Thank you to Brother Danish Noah for leading the dua recitation earlier. May Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala bless our ceremony with His grace and mercy.
Guests of honor and all respected audience, now it is the time that we have all been waiting for. Without further ado, we will begin the 2023 Rector's Cup Debating Championship finale. Now, I would like to invite Sister Iklil Munira as the Speaker of the House to come up to the stage, followed by the finalists to start the debate. The floor is yours.
Participants, please be seated. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good evening I bid to all. With the blessings from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, We are gladly able to gather here today for our annual Rector's Cup Debating Championship 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I thank all of you for joining us today, and I welcome each and every one of you warmly. My name is Iklin Munira binti Azlan, and I am your chairperson for today's debate. I would also like to introduce timekeeper for today's debate, Sister Nurul Nadira binti Fadlan. Before we begin the debate, I will briefly explain the rules. Speeches should be 7 minutes in duration. Speakers exceeding this may be penalized, but should never be substantially less than this. A bell will be rung after every consecutive minutes. After 6 minutes, the bell will be rung twice. After 7 minutes, the bell will be rung until the speaker stops delivering their speech. Points of information, POIs, can only be offered after the expiration of 1 minute and may not be given after the expiration of 6 minutes. POIs may only be given to opposing teams and should be generally not more than 15 seconds in duration. If the speaker exceeds the 15-second duration, the chairperson may request the speaker to end their points of information. The duration of preparation of the reply speech will be 1 minute. The duration of the reply speech will be 4 minutes. Speakers must use formal language. Inappropriate language is prohibited. With the rules explained, we will now start with our first debater of the day. The motion before the House this day is that this House, as a widely respected and reputed Islamic cleric, would not join any political party. From the government team, coming from Focus Community, the first speaker of the government, Farshatul Nisa Hanani binti Faris Adil. Coming all the way from Gombak campus, originated from India, a psychology major, Sister Shazia Sharminas, as our second speaker for the government team. In Arabic, our third speaker of the government is known as the Commander-in-Chief, presenting Amir Idris bin Azril. The reply speech will be delivered by Farshatul Nisa Hanani from government team. For the opposition team, presenting our firm and loud first speaker of the opposition team, Wan Nur Atifa binti Wan Saifuruddin, also from Gombak campus. Knowing as someone that is ambitious, presenting the second speaker of the opposition team, Muhammad Ilyas bin Yusri. The last but not the least, from Ingenious Community, Arish Shazwan bin Zainul Aman as the rebuttal speaker. The reply speech will be delivered by Sister Wan Nur Atifa. So, without further ado, please join me in welcoming our first speaker, Farshatul Nisa Hanani from the government team to the floor to open the most awaiting debate of the day. Please welcome.
Hello. I will start my speech in 1 and 2 and 3. So, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, I bid to the most honorable speaker, the wise son of adjudicators, the accurate timekeepers, my friends from the opposition side, members of the government delegations, and not to forget members of the hall today. So, today we are debating on a motion in this house as a widely respected and reputed Islamic cleric would not join any political parties. So, let me start with the opening line of my obligations as the first speaker. The role of an Islamic cleric is to uphold religious principles, provide guidance, and promote unity among their followers. So by choosing not to join any political party, the cleric can maintain their independence and avoid being associated with any political party that are biases and may cause any conflicts that often arise within the political landscape itself. So, let's move on to my characterizations, my burdens that I have to push to the opposition today in order for them to beat us, and next, our stance and our aims for the sides of government. So, we'll start with characterizations. So, what is a widely respected and reputed Islamic cleric? Which is, it is an individual who holds a prominent figures or prominent positions within Islamic community, recognized for their knowledge, for their piety, and for their religious teachings that make them acknowledged by the society itself. So, we have the Islamic cleric itself have strong influence and widely respected by all the citizens for their reasons and teachings and guidance. So, what it means by joining a political party? So joining a political party actively, we are the Islamic cleric becoming a member of specific political parties and engaging oneself with the party's ideologies and objectives. So what are the ideologies and objectives that may arise if they join the political party? So first, we have to consider that participating in political campaigns, these will give more harms other than good things. So next, advocating for specific policies. This is not right. To uphold the principles of the Islamic cleric itself is not right thing to do for you to advocating for specific policies that may bias and betray the Islamic teachings, but as a cleric itself. Next, by joining. No, thank you. I don't give my argument yet. So next, issues and our stance. So the status quo today, the involvement of the Islamic cleric and political party concerning about the potential conflicts of interest, religion integrity, diverting attentions from religious duty. So the Islamic clerics have their duty for the society. We have different, the politicians have different duty from the Islamic cleric itself. Then, the problems in our status quo for today, we have negative consequences that may happen if Islamic cleric joining the political party. So we have to maintain clear separations between the religions and the politics itself. So next, our stance for today is Islamic cleric should refrain themselves from joining any political parties to uphold their integrity of themselves and to uphold the Islamic teaching itself. And it is principally a right thing to do as an Islamic cleric. Today, we have two burdens from the government side in order for us to win the debate. First, we show that by Islamic cleric, the widely known Islamic cleric, if they join the political party itself, will bring more harms other than goods. And second, is principally is a right thing to do as an Islamic cleric. Our aims for the debate today, the Islamic cleric should maintain their independence and maintain their responsibilities as Islamic cleric to uphold the justice, the religion's justice itself. So what I meant by it is principally a right thing to do. So first of all, we don't want to politicize the Islamic cleric. So if, let's say that if the Islamic cleric join the political parties, so what will happen? If he gonna use the religion, use the knowledge to influence others by the religions to win the political party itself, this is not right thing to do. So we have the Islamic sanctuary itself. Yeah. No, thank you. So to focus on their responsibilities, the Islamic cleric itself have to refrain himself to not join any political parties. This is to avoid any biases or conflicts or any blurred line between the political parties or the Islamic teaching itself. You have the responsibility as an widely known Islamic cleric. Widely known Islamic cleric, you should not bother about the political ideologies itself. Because as an Islamic cleric, you have another duty and your obligations to be fulfilled to the society. Such as you have to unite the Ummah. And you can do so without joining any political party. If you join the political party, it will cause biases. Yes, let's say the Islamic cleric itself joining one political party. So it will cause biases, such as like, oh, this is Islam party, and this is not non-Muslim party. So this is not right. It's just going to cause more harm and conflicts between them. If you want to spread your ideologies, your duty, your obligations to uphold your principal duty as Islamic cleric, you can do so without joining any political party. So this house today, we believe that as a widely respected and reputed Islamic cleric, we will not join any political party by any means, because we believe that we can do so without associating with any political campaigns. Thank you.
Thank you to Sister Farchatunisa for the amazing start. Now please welcome the first speaker of the opposition to open the case for their side. Please welcome. Test.
Notice how their case is contingent on an assumption that these Islamic clerks will without a doubt abuse their power and choose to take these choose to not go through with the principles of Islam, when in fact the motion itself states that these Islamic clerics are in fact widely respected and reputed. They themselves have defined this widely respected people as a prominent position recognized for their religious knowledge. Given the fact that these people has achieved this level of knowledge and expertise, this level of respect, how can they guarantee on their side? They have not proven to us why these individuals without a doubt will go against the levels of knowledge that they have spent so many years to acquire. Now, before we continue, some contextualization. Why is it that this motion here exists? Now, let's talk about the fact that the reason the motion exists is because of the fact that there are minority states out there, states where Muslims are in fact minorities, where these people, there are biases against them. These people are failing to have the things that they need to be acknowledged by the government due to this lack of representation of their own people. And because of that, it is because of that that this motion here exists. Now, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to continue by talking about what exactly do we mean when we're talking about these Islamic clerics. We're talking about imams, muftis, and so on and so forth. People who have spent decades and decades learning about their religion. They have a level of public trust, and that is why they are in the position that they are in today. And because of this, when in joining politics, these people are more likely to fight for Islamic values and rights, so on and so forth. We believe that the personal aims of these Islamic clerics will align with Islam. That means helping the community and protecting the name of Islam. And I repeat, these people are respected and reputed, meaning that they're known as reliable. They're not just individuals who will abuse the name of religion, and therefore they are more likely to act in favor of Islam, not against it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to continue with some rebuttals. Again, as I have stated before, these are people who are, they have stated that these Islamic clerics in politics will direct their attention away from their duty. However, we, in fact, on the opposition side, believe that it is, in fact, within their duty to do so. Furthermore, they said that these people must refrain from joining politics in order to uphold the integrity of their duty and their religion, and to avoid biases against their religion. However, we believe that it is in fact essential for these people to be part of these politics in order to fight against these biases. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there are two burdens that side opposition needs to prove here today. Number one, why is it that these individuals joining these political parties is in fact in the best interest of Islam? And number two, we will prove to you why these religious leaders actually play an important role in democracy. Third, I would like to highlight that this is in fact an active debate. This house, as a widely respected and reputed Islamic cleric, why these Islamic clerics themselves would believe in these things, because these Islamic clerics are people who believe in the value of Islam, who wish to protect Islam itself, and therefore would act in a certain manner and would prefer to join these political parties as a result. Now, on to my first point, why this political activity is in the best interest of Islam. Number one, why is it true? Understand that Islam itself as a religion and religions as a whole are inherently political. This can be seen in the way, before I continue, yes.
So you're telling that if they join the political party, they'll be protecting Islam in a better way?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. How are you supposed to protect a religion that you care so much about when you are in no position of power to do so? How are you supposed to lobby and promote certain policies when you are in no position to do so? This is why it is so essential to have these individuals in government, ladies and gentlemen, even in opposition. Just the fact that they are creating discourse is something that we find essential. Now, allow me to continue. Why is it that political activity is in the best interest of Islam? Number one, understand Islam is inherently political. This can be seen in the way that it promotes a certain form of government. We've seen it in history, the caliphate, so on and so forth. We understand that Islam itself is one which promotes the idea of leadership, which promotes the idea of shura, of having these Islamic individuals in government to provide this feedback, to provide these policy proposals, so on and so forth. Now, how does this align with these Islamic clerics? Now, understand the purpose of these Islamic clerics. Number one, of course, to educate individuals on religion. And number two, to serve a positive image of Islam to the general public. Due to the fact that these two things align, and on top of the fact that they are reputable and respected, we believe that it would be within the best interest of these Islamic clerics to in fact join politics and to promote the values of Islam itself and the importance of protecting Islam. Because under their side, what they believe in is simply a world where these Islamic clerics try to have these Islamic policies and Islamic Shariah implemented to government. We say no, this is actually even more than that, because they are only considering countries like Malaysia or Saudi Arabia where Muslims are the majority. But our side talks about countries, it also includes countries such as the US where Muslims are in fact the minority. We believe that due to the fact that religion is political, not just in these Muslim majority countries, but also in these Muslim minority countries, it is so essential to ensure that these individuals have protection. Now, why is this good for Islam? It allows for, number one, for a better publication of Islam, in other words, for a positive, to serve the positive image of Islam. Due to the fact that we have established that these individuals are reputable and respected, they are less likely to use Islam for their own benefit, and therefore they are less likely to bring a good image around. But number two, it also provides a chance to normalize religion in politics. Now, why is this important and why is this true? Number one, it provides a chance to normalize religion in politics due to the fact that having this religious representation, or not just for Islam, but for a religion other than the majority as a whole, it allows people to understand that there are nuances in religion which can benefit government, which need to be taken into consideration when making policies for a certain group of people. We believe that this benefit extends not only to Islam, but also to other religions which live within that community. And therefore the impact is, number one, it serves a better image for Islam, and number two, other religions are also benefited. We believe that Islam is a religion of community, one which believes of respecting your neighbors, so on and so forth. And due to these reasons, we believe that this Islamic cleric, somebody who believes in the principles of Islam, would therefore support these sort of principles being promoted. Now let's talk about the comparative, the world that the government is living in compared to us. Even in their best case scenario, they are only allowing these people to take their integrity. They stated that they would avoid these biases and avoid these people from following the ideology of the party. However, we the opposition, we tell you, even if these people are somehow persuaded by the ideologies of the party, we believe they would only be persuaded due to the fact that they are able to compare that knowledge of the party, the ideologies of the party, in comparison to the amount of knowledge that they hold on the religion itself. Given the fact that we have both established Islamic is a peaceful and holistic religion, we believe that this is not necessarily something negative, and therefore even when they are persuaded by a certain part, by a certain ideology, they will still be working in the best interest of Islam. And for all those reasons, never been prouder to oppose. Thank you.
I would like to thank Sister Wainur Atifa for the jaw-dropping speech. And now I'll call upon the second speaker of the government to continue the debate for their side. Please welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, panel, let's talk about the debate we are having today. Now, let me tell you, we are living in a world where politics is really it's completely filled with politics, right? And half of the countries is filled with politics and the corruption having right now. Let me say, half of this world is filled with politics and also corruption. Let me say this, because we know that politics is also the main reason for corruption having right now, and that's what my speaker, the first speaker, have been also talking about. Now, before going to the arguments, what I'd like to rebuttal about some stuff that the opposition leader have been talking about. First thing is abuse of power. We are not even trying to become, abuse the power of that the Islamic cleric is having and using those power to actually join the party. We are not saying that they are gonna misuse their power in this stuff by not joining a political party. Now, what these Islamic clerics will look like if they join the political party. What will it look like if they actually will be looking at us? It's not about they're gonna abuse, take this power in account that they're gonna use it for the bad cause. No, we are saying that first thing my speaker was trying to say, making a recap, they are literally trying, the first thing, it's actually like they're engaging themselves into this political parties to that, in an extent that they're joining it and they're gonna put their all contributions and effort to it into building a political party. That's what the first thing has talked about. Now, why am I saying is because, first argument going into it, involvement in a political parties means possibility of losing their reputation, respect, and their time. Let's say, for example, the Mufti Meng. Do you think Mufti Meng has joined a political party and still not leading? We still know that they are leading. Let's say he has not, let's say he has also the power, right? So, let me say this. He has so many programs and stuff that's happening right now, and if he has joined into a political party, do you think he'll be finding some time so that he can clear these questions that the people are having in this Islamic-based related stuff? So what we are saying is that, when we join a SU in our compact campus or stuff in our IUM, we tend to lose focus on these academic stuff a little bit, right? We tend to focus on these SEO related matters too. Same like that, Islamic clerics will also have less time in promoting their stuff if they actually join a political party. Why? Because we know that political party needs a lot of contribution and dedication to it. So as a member, they will have to try to fulfill it. Now, as I've also said about corruption having in politics, let me say, which is actually happening in Malaysia right now itself, about one ustad who was actually led into a political party. Now, what has happened to his image? Let's see what has happened to his image. Due to one corruption, he has joined in a political party. He was let down with all those backlogs. His trust, all issues were gone. Now, he cannot be, he won't be trusted anymore. He cannot be trusted by the people. He cannot give speeches because they feel pity on himself for joining that political party. And these opposition team leaders are saying that they can promote Islam. Let me say that this Islamic clerics have also promoted their Islam, their religion, they haven't gone to join political party and then promote it. They have done in other ways too. Not going into the history because we all know what history is. Now, second thing I have talked about, why is that true? Because we also know that people need a really big trust in the Islamic clerics to follow what Islam is really trying to do, right? So, political parties, if they have one corruption, we know that there are political parties across the human world, right? So, if one corruption is happening in one world, this cleric will not know. This cleric will not know what is actually happening in a political party. They will only know that what actually has happened in Malaysia right now. They'll only know that, oh, I want to join this party, so let's join. But what's happening in the back, they don't know. So it's like a personal belief, but what they get into is into a trap, and then they actually have to face the consequences, and what they lose is their reputation and their respect for this world. So we don't want to have right now, right? Now, the second main argument we want to take is that we want to maintain their focus on these spiritual matters and not join for these political party. Why? Because we want. Why am I trying to say is this? Because if they have been joining these political parties and stuff, they will have a very bad direction towards the other. They won't be finding time exactly what I've told, right? So. These Islamic clerics are basically not to support their religion in their own manner and not by joining any political party. One more rebuttal which we want to talk about is that they said protecting Islam can be done by political party. As I've said, this political party cannot even protect Islam in that case if what has actually happened right now, because now other people across the world is having a bad impact on this, might have a bad impact on this Islam because of that ustad getting to joining a political party just because they wanted to do so. So I don't think they have to specifically join a political party in order to protect Islam, because there are huge millions of words and people who's actually protecting Islam in their own way, and there's no need to join a political party just to protect our Islam, right? We are protecting Islam in IM right now, sorry. Yes.
Are you saying that religion has no place in governance?
There is place. I'm not saying that these Islamic clerics are the only reason they have in order to promote Islam and stuff. Let me say there are Muslim leagues there are so many Muslim leagues which have already Islamic scholars and they have the basic knowledge. Why bring up this reputed high scholars to bring and join this political party just to promote Islam and stuff? I don't think. Because there are Muslim leagues who have actually having these leagues in order to protect Islam. So I don't think, even though politics have this Islamic Islamic people, I don't think there's really need to bring Islamic clerics in this place, because let me say they have other stuff to do, like such as speeches and giving their point of view in their own manner by giving a workshop and stuff, right? Now, they said normalizing religion and politics, which is, I'm running out of time, yeah. Normalizing religion and politics. Also my first speaker said, we doesn't want to politicize Islam due to these causes like corruption and losing image, right? But just our main important point which we are trying to talk. Now, other one, that individual is recognized by their knowledge. Exactly, that's what we are trying to say, that these individuals are recognized to know their knowledge, so let them have their time in giving their workshops and stuff and not joining a political party to spread their knowledge and guidance, because all these political Islamic clerics have already done that, so there's no need of joining party. Thank you. Proud to propose.
Thank you, Sister Shazia Sharminas, for the eye-opening speech. And now, I call upon the second speaker of the opposition team to continue the aggressive debate.
Test. I'll start my speech in 1, 2, 3. Religion and politics are inseparable by nature. But it seems that the government side does not understand that. So in my speech, I will explain to you why religion cannot be separable from politics, and why, in the end of the day, these Islamic clerics should join political parties in order to for the betterment of Islam itself. But before that, I will go into my rebuttals. So the first speaker of the government said, she said that advocating for specific policy, giving bias to specific policy is bad. I disagree, because bias itself isn't harmful. If we see these Islamic clerics who are acknowledged because of their piety, because they are respected, because they have a lot of knowledge and are trusted by the community, then if they advocate for certain policies, most definitely it's for the best of Islam, it's for the best of the community. And moving on, to another rebuttal, is that the second speaker keeps saying that Islam has no purpose in the government, in governance. By doing this, they are belittling the religion. They say that religion should only be allowed in mosques. They should only be allowed in educational institutions. They are saying that religion, something that is very personal to everybody,
something that influence how each people do their lives, influence their behavior. They're belittling them by saying that does not deserve a place in governance, meaning that your behavior, your lifestyles, it's not important at all in the grand scheme of things, and you are not acknowledged as a citizen in that country. And lastly, they keep saying that you can't focus on religious duty if you go into the politics. Well, I disagree, because you can do both, and that argument itself is circumstantial. It depends on whether or not these religious clerics can actually do it or not. So if you're saying, I as a religious cleric, you're saying religious cleric should not join political parties simply because you believe that all of them don't have the time to do their job, is simply false, because there are Islamic clerics that can make time. You are belittling Islamic cleric itself, because you see them as somebody that is incapable of going into politics. Now, with that, I move into my argument, which is religious leaders are important. It is an important tool in upholding democracy. So, first of all, why is this true? Number one, my previous speaker said that religion itself is inseparable from politics. It is inherently political. We can see this over and over. We can see this in specific values. Conservatism has been tied to Islam, because conservatism and Islam have their similarities. Or we can also see, let's go out of Islam. We can see that religions in general are political. You can see in the colonialism, where people colonize country just to spread one of the reasons is to spread Christianity. This means that religion itself is something personal, is how everybody lead their lives. And how everybody lead their lives includes, like, is there a place for me to pray? Or which kind of education system should I vote for? Or should I take interest in, like, maybe financial system? That itself means that religion helps people how to live their life properly, and people also rely on that, because without religion, some people itself don't have, you can't live their life properly. Secondly, is that religious leaders, they don't only guide, but they help their own communities. They are seen as leaders because they have knowledge, they are capable, and are respected by the general public, by Muslim communities. So right now, we have something that is inherently political, something that can influence lives. So this is important. It's important to have religious leaders to participate in politics, so that they themselves can help ensure that how people lead their lives won't go astray, how the government enact policies won't harm the interests of Muslim, won't harm the lifestyles of Muslim, what the Muslim wants. And this is good, because this means that these Islamic clerics acts as a representation. And proper representation is important, because without representation, issues such as discrimination, Islamophobia, they won't be discussed in parliament, because you don't have religious leaders who are well versed about that issue to talk about in the parliament. Because when you have no representation, people won't listen to you. People don't want, your issues are being belittled, or your issues are not cared for by the general public. And having an advocate is in favor of your interests is important, because in the end of the day, without these advocates, imagine their world where you have no religious leaders to advocate about your problem, to to convey about the issues of Muslim in parliament. What will happen? What will happen is that your issues won't be heard. Your issues won't be cared for. If you have, as an example, you live in a minority country where you don't have much, where Muslims are not the majority. People won't, and you don't have proper place to pay. That is an issue itself. When your voices aren't heard, when you don't have representation to voice those voices, this means that your issue will be forgotten. And when that happens, it can lead to issues, to riots, people being violent just to make their voice heard. And in comparison to their world, maybe our worst case, maybe, is people would, these religious clerics would turn corrupt. But that itself is circumstantial. It does not prove it doesn't prove that their world are absolute. While under our world, our worst case is, our worst case is that maybe these political leaders, religious clerics, won't bring any change at all, because maybe there are a majority in the country. But at least in the end of the day, we have representation, because it's important in democracy for everybody, including Muslim communities, to have their own voice be heard. So with that, go to side opposition.
Thank you, Brother Muhammad Ilyas bin Yusri, for the magnificent speech that I believe make us rethink our opinion regarding the motion of today's debate. Now, let's welcome the third speaker of the government, Amir Idris bin Azril, to the floor to restructure the debate. Please welcome.
This. Ladies and gentlemen, let me clarify one thing here. The motion states that we're talking about Islamic clerics, not Islam itself. We never say that we don't need Islam in the political parties, in the governments. We're saying that we don't need clerics, Islamic clerics. Are you belittling the people, the Mormon Muslims here, like ourselves? We are a Muslim, right? So why can't we just go there to the political party? But why do we need to send out clerics, people who are knowledgeable in Islam? And I will tell you right now why that's the opposition side does not make any sense at all. Now, firstly, for the rebuttal against the opposition leader, now the opposition leader has said that, okay, clerics Islam has studied the field for Islam for like many years, right? They are knowledgeable about that. Let me tell you, I don't care. Alright, I don't care if they study about 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, or even their life they study about Islam. But in the end, when you are going to a political party, you're not going to teach them everything. Alright, you're going to teach them what they needed in that party only. You're not going to teach them about what taranum or how to do other stuff. They are going to teach them how to govern, how to do policies, and that does not need like all of those things. Alright. Yes, I'll take you.
So you're saying that there's someone out there who's better to represent Islam than Islamic clerics themselves?
Yes, I say that. Alright? Because why? Because I say that Islamic clerics, Islam is a big field. It has many, branches. And there are some people who, as I said, normal people who has firstly the branches they needed to make Islam in politics. Like they have the knowledge about the economy, they have the knowledge about the politics, and they have the knowledge of Islam to be put to combine all of it. Not a cleric. A cleric has many, okay, has all the office, their message, but in the end, if they don't have anything, if they don't have knowledge about how to govern, if they don't have knowledge of how to do policies, what are the importance, how can this affect that, how can this affect the economy, it's no use, alright? Now, this is an issue I want to ask. Yes, we need to represent clerics because they understand Islam more. But if you, a Muslim, alright, have the knowledge of Islam and have the abilities, the advantages of knowing the economic structure, of knowing how to, make good policies, what are the effects of your policy going to economy, which would you choose? Alright, for instance, he said in USA, in UK, or some Western countries where Islam are the minority. Alright, so if you were giving 2% a cleric Islam who is knowledgeable in Islam and only Islam, not all of those things that they need, like economy, and a person who has sufficient knowledge about Islam, about how to take care of their Islam in that country, who would you choose? Of course, we're going to choose the second person, because we know that, okay, he is going to broaden our voice in the proper way, in the good way, in the way that they are going to be seen by the other people as well, by the government. Alright, now, She also stated that, okay, Islam is need, when clerics join political parties, they can protect Islam more. It's like, I think there is a better way. Okay, like my second speaker stated, Mufti Meng, he's a Mufti. He protects Islam. He's not in a political party. So why are you saying that we need to go to a political party to protect Islam? That's nonsense. We can just protect it ourselves. We have the freedom of speech. We have the voice to voice out. Alright, you don't need to go to some political party and say, alright, we need to do this, we need to do that for Islam. Alright, no, we can just say it and people will notice you. Alright, so I think there's a POI there. No, alright. Okay, now, the second speaker said that, alright, they're basically saying the same thing. We say that there is no Islam in the government, there's no Islam in the party. No, we're not saying that. We're saying that why should we have Islamic clerics in the politics, in the governments? We just need someone, a Muslim, a normal Muslim, who is knowledgeable and they can do their job well. That's all. There's no need to go such a stance to as a cleric. Alright?
PI?
Yes.
If in the end of the day you don't care if a Muslim have a proper abilities to go into politics, why not just put Islamic clerics who can give more an effective way of protecting Islam?
Yeah, how can you prove that Islamic clerics are more protecting? We can say that a normal Muslim can protect their own. Every Muslim has a sense, has a moral obligation to protect their own religion. We can't say that because you are a cleric, you have more responsibility. No, every Muslim shares the same responsibility to protect their own nation, to protect their own religion. Excuse me. Alright? And he said that, I can't stress this enough, we're not talking about Islam, we're talking about Islamic clerics. If you are in Islam, you are knowledgeable in Islam, you know how the government, how the party works, how the government works, and then you just get beaten up by someone from the kampong who has studied Islam for 30 years, Islamic cleric from a kampong. What would you feel? You have the knowledge. You have the knowledge about economy, about politics, and yet you lose to someone who studies Islam for their last life, but they don't know anything, a single thing about the economy, a single thing about politics, a single thing about what will happen if you really push, alright, Islam to the politics, alright? And lastly, what I will say is, lastly I will say, I'm not saying that Islam should not. Alright, there are better ways. If you really want to protect as Islamic cleric, do other ways. Don't join politics. Don't let the people look down on you. Alright. Like I said, especially in Malaysia, we can see in Malaysia that if you're an ustad, a famous ustad, or a famous mufti, I don't care. But if you got into politics, you see what will happen to you. You see what will happen to your career. People will give a damn about it. Alright? People will give a damn about it. With that, I end my case. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Amir Idris bin Azril, for the remarkable yet controversial speech. Last but definitely not the least, I welcome the third speaker from the opposition side to the floor for doing the rebuttal. Please welcome.
I will start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so it's clear that the first speaker has stated that to maintain a clear separation between religion and politics. Alright, I disagree with this statement because Islam and politics are mutually correlated to each other. If Islam and politics are not related, then how come Muslims can govern a nation with Islamic values by using the Quran and the Sunnah? Especially just like as we have learned before in just like the caliphates and the ruling of Prophet Muhammad SAW. Next, Islam should not participate in politics itself. I disagree with this because if that's the case, then you're assuming that Islam forbids political movement. Then, if Islam should forbids political movement, then how can we let Islamic clerics serve as representative, especially to fight for issues and to fight for their rights in Muslim minority countries. Next,
POI.
sorry, no, thank you. Next is people who. So the second speaker has stated that people who participate in political party, especially people who participate in political party, especially Islamic clerics, they want to maintain in spiritual matters. Since we're discussing about politics, it does not mean that we have to maintain in spiritual matters only. We only have Islamic clerics who join a political party also have to serve as their right to fight for their rights and to become the representative to voice out the problems that are happening, especially for the Muslims who are living in a Muslim minority country. And next is they don't. Second speaker also stated that they don't need to join political party to promote Islam. Then how can Islam be promoted if there are no one to become the representative? Since this statement is actually general, because you stated that Islam do not need to join political party, but in this case, our motion stated that Islamic clerics who should not join political party. But since our opposition team are fighting for that Islamic clerics should become the representative to promote Islam, especially in maintaining government and to serve their to get their rights. Next, for the third speaker, I believe that you have said something about that you don't believe Islamic clerics are not reliable in political parties because they will rely on someone else. They rely on someone else who have more knowledge than Islamic clerics. Then, who else other than Islamic clerics should be able to become reliable in serving as political parties? Yes.
Until now, it is unclear to me how does a cleric and a normal Muslim who has the same knowledge in government Islam is, the difference. It is unclear to me. What is the difference?
Sorry, come again.
It is unclear to me why a cleric and why does a normal Muslim who has the sufficient knowledge about to govern Islam in a party, in a government, is different. How is that different?
Basically, they're not really entirely different. Islamic clerics, they have more knowledge in Islam, and especially they have more knowledge in about the Shariah law, especially in Quran and Sunnah. Compared to the normal Muslims, compared to Islamic clerics and normal Muslims, Islamic clerics, we refer them to as muftis, ulamas, imams. They have more knowledge in Islam, therefore, they should be more reliable in serving in political parties. If you just like you said before, just like the second speaker has said, just like you said before, that you should find someone else that are more reliable than Islamic clerics. Then who else should be more reliable other than Islamic clerics? Since we want to promote Islam in politics to fight for the rights. Okay, next. Also, you have stated that they said that Islamic clerics do not deserve to become the leader, but they will give the position to someone else, to someone who have little knowledge about Islam to serve as a leader. So basically, you are repeating the points here. Since you are relying to someone else to become the leader in engaging in politics, then how can Islamic clerics should become the representative, especially to serve for Islam and to serve for the better of Muslim community? We are talking about that. We are talking about Muslims minority country who wants to fight for their rights, wants to voice out their problems because they are facing multiple issues because they are living in a Muslim minority country. Therefore, if you said that Islamic clerics do not deserve to become a leader, they give it to someone else, then this will lead to the corruption and abuse to the Islam itself, because due to the people who have less knowledge in Islam.
POIs?
Sorry, no, thank you. So finally, I would like to state that it's clear that our side, the opposition side, would like to fight for the better image of Islam and for the state and for the sake of democracy, while your side would like to view as what you said, just basically want to prevent Islamic clerics from joining the political movement and and governing the nation. Okay, I think that's all for me.
Thank you, Brother Aris Shazwan bin Zainul Aman, for the magnificent rebuttal speech. Now, it is time for the preparation of reply speeches. The time given for each team will be 1 minute. The time starts now. While they are preparing, I would like to introduce our honorable judges for Rector's Cup Debating Championship 2023. Presenting Brother Latif, Chief of Adjudicators from RRUM Gombak. Madam Mizan, Director of RRUM World Debate and Oratory Center, I1 Gombak. Brother Hashim, Co-Chief of Adjudicator from RRUM Gombak, a champion of Malaysia Debate Competition in 2019. With the experience as National Novice 2023 semi-finalist, Brother Anas from Ahmad Ibrahim Kuliah of Laws, IRUM. The last but not the least, Ustaz Iqmal, an experienced adjudicator for IRUM's recent participation in the 2023 Asian British Parliamentary ABP located in Bali, Indonesia. And that's our judges for today's debate. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now the time for the reply speeches. Starting with the opposition. Please welcome the opposition summary speaker, Sister Wan Nur Atifa.
Sorry? Oh, wait for the other person to come back. Okay.
For some time. Please welcome the opposition summary speaker, Sister Wan Nur Atifa from the opposition team. Please welcome.
3, 2, 1. Notice how side government is contingent on a couple of assumptions. Number one, they're contingent on an assumption that there is someone out there better to represent Islam than somebody who has spent I don't care how much time studying Islam. And number two, that these clerics would prefer to serve Islam at a community level. These are two major things in their case that they have failed to prove to us despite continuous questioning from side opposition. Now, Flo, there are two major questions which need to be answered by both sides of the house today. Number one, which side better serves Islam? And number two, which side better serves Muslims? Here today, I will prove to you why on both questions, side opposition wins this case. Now, first of all, which side better serves Islam? They keep saying over and over again that this debate is not saying that Islam doesn't deserve to be in politics, it's just the clerics. This is something that we think is This is something that we do not believe can stand as a valid case here today due to the fact that when we were questioned that there is someone better, they simply said, no, there's someone out there who knows a lot about Islam, who deserves better because they know more about leadership. I am telling you right now that the person who knows most about Islam is probably an Islamic cleric, something that we have been trying to tell you over and over and over again. Now again, they have kept on saying that politics is corrupt and therefore it will not allow in Islamic views, that these clerics will have to bend and twist their the person that they are in order to fit into this political party, that at the end of the day they will not be able to bring in the views that they hold so strongly. But ladies and gentlemen, we tell you that these individuals, these Islamic clerics are in fact respected and reputable, something that we have told you time and time again. And even if they were unable to uphold the values that they have, even if they were unable to resist from going against their principles, principles, we tell you that the representation that they bring is still so much more valuable towards politics as a whole and towards the Muslim community, bringing us to the second question which needs to be answered. Which side better serves Muslims? In other words, the people of Islam themselves. They have stated time and time again, if there's a better use of these clerics at a community level. These people, they're supposed to be in the mosque, they're supposed to be giving talks, Q&As, so on and so forth. We have asked them time and time again, is it really worth trading off the potential benefits that side opposition's case can bring? We've brought to you benefits such as this ability to normalize the use of religion in politics. We have told you about the ability to have the representation for these individuals, to allow these Muslims to feel as if the things that they care about matter due to the fact that there is someone in government fighting for the things they want. It allows these people to engage in discourse which is relevant towards them. This is a world that they would rather live without, because they believe that these clerics who have the potential to bring this change should be in the mosque answering Q&As at a city level. But we believe that this is not a trade-off worth giving up just for the sake of an extra program at the mosque after 7. Now, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to point out that on their side, they have failed to address our point about how there is protection for the Muslim population through representation. This is something that we believe is achievable on our side due to the fact that under our side, we have addressed the fact that by allowing these individuals, these Islamic clerics, to join politics itself, even if they're not necessarily in government, even if they're in opposition, by allowing these people to join politics, there's this understanding that that religion in itself is something which deserves to be a part of politics, is something which needs to have its nuances taken consideration of, is something which needs to be talked about when in parliament and to debate it over, and not something to be ignored and to be sidelined over and over again. We have talked about the status quo, and now about the reality is this motion exists because in the status quo there is a lack of representation and a lack of protection towards these Muslims. And by allowing these Islamic clerics, people who are less likely to abuse the name of Islam and to bring a bad name towards Islam, by allowing them into politics, we believe this protection can be brought. When we talk about the purpose of the cleric themselves, they said it is to uphold religious principles. We agreed, and we said in addition to that, they must act in the best interest of Islam by protecting the people and protecting their religion itself. These two things, these two purposes of the clerics are ones which are protected by our side and our side alone. And for all of these reasons, opposition wins. Thank you.
Like to thank the speaker for the wholly magnificent summary, and welcoming the last speaker of the government, Farishatul Nisa Hanani, to sum up for the team and the debate as a whole. Please welcome.
Thank you to the honorable speaker. So I will move on to our reply speech as the government side. So today, the opposition said that they have argued about Islam being into the politics and not arguing about the Islamic career itself. We surely have the religion of Islam as a whole in our political party, but we don't need Islamic cleric as the politicians itself. We need Islamic cleric to be separated from being the politicians itself. So first of all, for our government, we have argued that we don't want to politicize the Islamic career itself. By refraining from joining any political party, they respect that Islamic cleric can maintain their spiritual and moral entity and without engaging with any political or partisans of politics. So political affiliation can potentially compromise the neutrality and impartiality aspect of an Islamic cleric. So as they may be perceived as advocating for a specific political essence rather than focusing solely on their religious duties. So why is important by we don't want to politicize the Islamic party, the Islamic cleric itself, is because we want to uphold the non-politicizations of the Islamic cleric and ensures that they can serve as a unifying figure for the society. So by joining a political party could divert the intentions and energy of the well-known, respected and reputed Islamic cleric away from their core responsibilities. If you want the Islamic cleric to be the politicians, don't you think what's going to happen to the Islamic cleric itself? If he or her join the political party itself, don't you think this will distort the knowledge, the teachings of Islam itself in politics? We already have Muslim leaders in our politics, and we see what happens. So do you want to involve Islamic cleric, a well-known and respected and reputed person, into this politics? So we move on. We as the government today want to highlight the need for the respected and reputed Islamic cleric to maintain their duty to maintain their core responsibilities as the Islamic cleric and not being a politician. Today we are not talking, again I emphasize, we are not talking about religion Islam itself, getting into governance. We are talking about Islamic cleric into the politics itself. We already have the political leader which is Muslim and knowledgeable of Islam teachings. So for Islamic cleric, we can ask for his advice, for his teachings to uphold the justice for Islam religion itself. So if you are saying, if the opposition is saying today that Islamic cleric, before they join any political campaigns, they don't have any say or they don't have any authority to do so, to change the country, to change the religion itself, this is very wrong. Because if you are well-known, respected, reputed Islamic cleric, you should know you have say in every aspect of the country itself. Because you are well-known and respected and reputed. So we already have. So I want to show why the government side win this debate for today. We don't want to politicize the Islamic cleric itself. We have said that if they join political parties, there will be more harm than good. So Islamic clerics itself, the reputations of Islamic clerics itself will be disrespected by the society. So we prove how the politics could distort the teachings of Islam and the Islamic cleric itself. Because they've been bringing the religion Islam itself into this debate today, I believe that the oppositions don't have the right to say that Islamic cleric cannot be someone that don't have to say in issues if they don't join any political party. And that I beg to propose as government today. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Farishatul Nisa Hanani, for the perfectly worded summary. I would like to express a big thank you to all the speakers for the great debates. Let's give them a last round of applause. And with that, I would like to sign off as the chairperson and pass the floor to our dearest MCs. Whatever good befalls me is from Allah, and whatever bad befalls me is from myself. Thank you, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ya
Honorable guests, brothers and sisters, raise your words, not your voice.
It is the rain that grows the flowers, not the thunder.
Thank you, Sister Iqlil Munira and our debaters for your hard work tonight. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, we will now proceed with the speeches. Let us welcome the Program Manager of Rector's Cup Debating Championship 2023, Sister Wan Raina Sofia binti Wan Arifin, to deliver her speech. Please welcome.
Mic test. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a very good evening I bid to our Honorable Professor Dr. Akmal Kuzari bin Abdul Rahman, Deputy Rector of Student Development and Community Engagement of IIUM, Dr. Taifun Isham Taib, Deputy Dean of Student Development and Community Engagement of CFS, Madam Mizan Muhammad, Director of IIUM World Debate and Oratory Center, Mr. Suhaimi bin Long, Covering Director Administration of CFS, judges, participants, brothers and sisters. Alhamdulillah, with the blessings and grace of Allah SWT, we are able to be gathered here today to witness the closing ceremony of our highly anticipated Rector's Cup program. I am still processing the remarkable fact that we have made it to the finish line, to the end of the program. There were simply countless hurdles and challenges that me and my committee members had to go through to be able to pull Rector's Cup seamlessly. I simply could not have done it without them. So to all of my community members, thank you for your endless hours of work and dedication that you have put into the program. Thank you for supporting and helping one another in whatever area we might lack. Thank you for the tiring yet fun learning experience of managing and working on a large-scale program together. You guys are the best. Not to forget, we would not have been able to carry out this program without the approval and help from the CFS IIUM management as well. We are greatly thankful for all the help and guidance given by our advisor, Sir Jeffrey, as well as all other staff members that have kindly extended their help to us and joined our committee. Brothers and sisters, I would like to briefly explain to you why our program tonight is highly special and important for us to carry out. The Rector's Cup program is an annual initiative done by the Orators Debate Club, or also known as I1, as an initiative for the participants, especially from CFS, to be able to improve or gain new skills directly from their seniors from other campuses. It is different than the usual setting in which participants are used to be grouped in a debate team which they are already comfortable with. Besides that, Rector's Cup serves as a platform where students can express their thoughts, opinions, and ideas through a healthy argument. Not to mention, confidence and courage can be further built here, especially when it comes to beginners, as this event is done in two phases, online for the preliminary and physical for the finals. As you can see tonight, brothers and sisters, our debaters tonight have proven the incredible prowess and charisma that the students of IIUM possess when it comes to debating. And this is only the small few of them that have successfully competed against other debaters that, might I tell you, were all just as fearful. So ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause to all of our participants for their exceptional courage and all hard work throughout the competition. This program would not have been successful to you. As we reach closer to the end of my program, and also to the end of my speech, I would like to remind all of you that the main objective of this program is not simply for us to win, but for us all to learn and take example on how we can become better debaters and a better speaker as a whole. Debating is an incredibly useful and important skill in our lives, which can help us to unlock even greater potentials in ourselves. So to all of you, if you have the opportunity to debate, don't be scared and just go for it. It's not as scary as it looks, and it's definitely fun in its own way. Regardless, congratulations in advance to the winners, and may you guys continue your debate journey from here. With that being said, I'm signing off as your duly program manager for tonight. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you, Sister Wan Raina Sophia, for your inspiring speech.
Now, let us welcome our next honorable speaker, Dr. Taifun Nisham bin Taib, the Deputy Dean of Student Development and Community Engagement of CFS IIUM, to deliver his speech. Please welcome.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillazi hadana lihada wa ma kunna linahtadi laula an hadana. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah, asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Thank you very much Ananda Talhah dan Farah. To Honorable Prof. Dr. Kamal Huzairi bin Abdul Rahman, the Deputy Rector, Student Development and Community Engagement, IUM. To Madam Mizan Muhammad, the Director of IUM World Debate and Oratory Center. Mr. Swaimi Long, the Covering Director of CFS IUM. Sister Wan Raina Sophia binti Wan Arifin, the Program Manager of the RECTOR'S Cup Debating Championship 2023. To all judges, participants, brothers and sisters, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First, I'd like to extend our highest gratitude to our Deputy Rector, Prof. Akmal, for his willingness to join us tonight. Thank you very much, Prof. For your information, Prof have been here with his tight schedule from the morning until tonight. So thank you very much, and on behalf of the center and everyone here, we'll pray for your health, your strength to spearhead the office with the challenges, external and internal, that you are facing now. So may Allah grant you strength, Prof, inshallah. Brothers and sisters, to be on stage, debating, stretching the brain and tongue is not easy. Those students that you are watching tonight, you can see various styles and means. You know, it's not easy. So let us give them another round of applause for their braveness, their guts to be on stage, showing you how the debate is. Brothers, sisters, and distinguished guests, debate is not just about stretching your brain and tongue. It's about expressing, using the critical and creative thinkings. It's very critical, shown by all the debaters, how they analyze, how they synthesize, how they come up with the conclusions, how they propose their motion, how they defend the arguments and evidence. So these are the critical thinking skills that everyone here should take lessons and then look forward how to improve yourself in the future. I'm very glad today, Prof, because we have a huge crowd in this hall. Besides, some of you are having tests tonight, quiz, and still you spend your time joining us tonight. Congratulations and give a round of applause to all of you. We are moving towards the end of the semester still. You still have the passion to be in this hall to join our program. Now, the debates, not just also about the critical and thinking skills, it's also about the self-confidence and strong characters, already shown by the debaters just now. Now, the lesson that you should take, that the debates is not about how to debate, how to convey your motion. It's about to produce the leadership within you. The leadership that we are talking about is not just to become a politician. It's also about to be a good manager, a good CEO, a good general manager, and a good president. At least be a good head of family. So please, we hope that you take the lesson tonight by try to learn the way to convey a good argument and evidences. Brothers, sisters, and distinguished guests, please take this opportunity for you to make good of yourself so that you can make good to others. As my final words, I'd like to thank again Prof. Akmal for joining us tonight, to CFS Management Covering Director, Mr. Swami Long, Madam Mizan, staff of IWON, judges, and all organizing committee. Inshallah, may barakah with all of you. And with that, I'd like to end my speech with wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Dr. Taifunisham Pintai, for that encouraging speech. Now, please welcome our honorable VIP, Professor Dr. Akmal Khuzairi bin Abdul Rahman, the Deputy Rector of Student Development and Community Engagement, to deliver his speech. Please welcome.
Dr. Taifunisham Taib, our Deputy Dean, Madam Mizan Muhammad, the Director of IWON, my colleague, Brother Suhaimi Long, the Covering Director Administration of CFS, and just now, Sister Wan Raina Sofia, binti Wan Arifin, the Program Manager of Rector's Cup Debating Championship, judges, participants, brothers and sisters. It's not actually a good time, to invite someone at 10:30 p.m. to give his speech. Kamu ngantuk lah kah? Tak ngantuk ke? Serius? Oh, dahsyat lah, orang duduk tengah-tengah hutan ni dia punya daya tahan ngantuk dia hebat. Mungkin kena embun kot lah. Brothers and sisters, I'll be seeing you all, of course, when you arrive in Gombak. I don't know how many months more that we'll be seeing one another. But what we have witnessed, as mentioned by Dr. Taifu just now, is that debating is a practice for us to transform ourselves. Kamu ingat sampai bila-bila kamu masuk university, it is actually to transform yourself. To learn and acquire knowledge, of course, betul. Tapi kita nakkan perubahan. You come to this university, and especially debate is a tradition in this university. And how many leaders, how many leading characters that we have produced from the platform of debating over the years. Kita ada menteri-menteri pun daripada kelab debat kita. Kita ada pelbagai lagi tokoh-tokoh from the corporate sector and from the companies coming from this platform debating. Jadi ingat pesan saya that you are here to transform yourself, and you will be continuing transforming yourself when you are in Gombak. Do not give up, right? If you don't feel that you are that confident in the very beginning, practice. Practice makes perfect. If you don't have the confidence, just mingle and try to know others who have the same capability or better capability to talk, to debate. That is how you build your confidence as a student. It is still not late, of course, because the education is continuous until you are in your 4th year. Berubahlah, we want to see that you change. I mean, learning is not just about, as I mentioned, acquiring knowledge. It is about transforming your character. Janganlah macam sekarang ni kamu dekat CFS, saya nampak, Masya Allah, comel-comel, juruh-juruh kata Kelantan kan. Masuk je dekat main camp besok, macam-macam fashion kita nampak. Jalan pun dekat CFS ni tunduk aja kan. Dekat main campus nanti jalan mana tu, Masya Allah, tak kenal orang je lah. We don't want that kind of transformation. We want something which is positive. Tak gerti cakap Inggeris, sekali cakap Inggeris, orang pun paling pusing kepala tengok siapa dia tu. Dahsyat tak dahsyatnya. You don't know how to debate, one day insyaAllah you'll become a good debater. Not necessarily a debater. Even if you're talking about public speaker, for an example, you have the gut, you have the courage to stand up in front of the audience to speak, right? Comfortably, of course, right? So these are the things that you need to train yourself. You are still, for an example, weak in Arabic and English. This is the time for you to pick up your courage, pull yourself together and learn the language and become better at it. Okay? Jadi kita nakkan macam tu lah nanti kan. Saya nak cakap panjang-panjang pun tak sedar lah, 10.30 kan. Saya pun mengantuk, kamu pun mengantuk. Kita nak tengok who will be the winner. But Alhamdulillah, we can see that our friends, the courage as mentioned by Dr. Taifu just now, that they showed to us as debaters should be made as a lesson for us all. Okay? And glad to be with you, and I'm very hopeful that we would have some other programs together whereby I can just share with you some of my thoughts and some of our hopes as well for you. And but mostly, of course, I'm looking forward very much to seeing you in Gombak campus, insha'Allah wa bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Akmal Huzairi bin Abdul Rahman, for this wonderful speech. Now, I would like to invite the Deputy Dean, Dr. Taifu Nisham bin Taib, onto the stage to accompany the Deputy Rector, Professor Dr. Akmal Huzairi, in order to officiate tonight's ceremony. Thank you, Professor Dr. Al-khawarizmi bin Abdul Rahman and Dr. Taifun Hisham bin Taib for your willingness to complete the inauguration ceremony just now.
Now, we respectfully invite our honorable guests to remain on stage for the next agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, the long-awaited moment has arrived, which is the announcement and the presentation of prizes to the winners.
We will proceed to the best speaker and followed by the champion of the Rector's Cup Debating Championship 2023 with jury, margin, and results. The best debater for the final round of the Rector's Cup Debating Championship 2023 goes to Sister Wan Nur Atifa from the opposition side. Congratulations to Sister Atifa. Congratulations once again to Sister Atifa.
Now, let us proceed to the next agenda. Government, represented by Team Yay Experts, and the opposition, represented by Team Elephant, with a margin of 3.00. The jury is 5-0 with the motion. This house, as a widely respected and reputed Islamic cleric, will not join any political party.
The winner of the Rector's Cup Debating Championship 2023 is Team Elephant from the opposition side. Therefore, let us first invite the first runner-up, Team Yay Experts, to the stage. Please welcome. Let us give them a round of applause. Congratulations itu. Aku tambah sikit. Congratulations once again to the first runner-up, Team Yay Experts.
Now, we would like to invite our champions for the Rector's Cup Debating Championship, Team Elephant, to the stage. Please give a round of applause to our champions. Congratulations for the champions of the Rector's Cup Debating Championship 2023.
Many thanks to Professor Dr. Akmal Huzairi bin Abdul Rahman and Dr. Taifun Hisham bin Taib.
We would like to kindly request our honorable guests to remain on stage for the passing of the token of appreciation. I would like to invite Dr. Taifun Hisham bin Taib to pass the token of appreciation to Professor Dr. Akmal Huzairi bin Abdul Rahman, the Deputy Rector of Student Development and Community Engagement, for his willingness to grace our ceremony with his presence. Thank you to Professor Dr. Akmal Huzairi bin Abdul Rahman and to Dr. Taifun Hisham bin Taib.
Now, let us together watch the montage video prepared by the Orators Bureau of Multimedia.
University, it needs adequate funding because like it's
accomplish many things with a very limited time frame.
Summarizing it, because if I summarize it, they will deduct my marks.
The strong emotional connection they have that
You can enter any government position with this SPM or STPM, which is essentially free position.
Because they have to focus on two things at once. They have to focus on these policies that are quite costly, and they also have to
complete tasks like fully using ChatGPT only. I think it will make their research up.
And content is also important, and there can be disruption in the weakness of the outside.
So if you are looking for a solution for plagiarism, especially what is special? Our way is more special. And so we can stop.
Probably because of the way that you understand my system because ChatGPT has now been as active as otherwise available.
The montage video marks the end for tonight's event. Before we end the ceremony, let us first have a photography session. I would like to invite our honorable guests, respected judges, brothers and sisters, to move to the center part of the hall for the photography session. All participants, you may now move to the center part of the hall for the photography session with the judges and the honorable guests. Tapi tak ada QR. Jangan tak ambil QR lagi tau. The QR code attendance will be revealed at the end of the ceremony. All students are invited to move to the center part of the hall for the photography session. Kita orang cakap ni tau, dah like cakap formally lah tu.
Dah, tak jadi.
Dah. Dah.
3 kali dah cakap.
Dah. Sorry.
Macam lah.
Like-
Kali keempat akan buat difference. Sepatutnya seorang lah jaga kat.
Dah ni kenapa buka pintu tu? All students are invited to move to the center part of the hall for the photography session. Nak ke? Oh sebab ada ni. Kena cakap. Kena cakap kepada guest. Sebab ada rector semua. Wih.
Masih buka kan. Buka sampai akhir. Sampai apa? Sampai hadiah. Tapi tak scan. So tak dapat apa.
Like, tahulah. Aku dah cakap tak boleh buat fotografi session time ni. Kena ending nanti. We end our duty je lagi. We end our duty. Okay. We end our duty here as the master of ceremony for tonight's event with Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you and have a good night.